Welcome to Unstoppable Women Entrepreneurs. I'm Jane King, with me co-host Rhonda Swan, and we've also got Livia Caudell with us today, who's the CEO of Integrity Payment Processing, one of the exclusive companies that services multi-billion-dollar high-risk industries. So this includes like nutraceuticals, online gaming, crypto, CBD, cannabis. So welcome, Livia. Great to have you here.
Great to be here.
Talk
Thank
a little
you.
bit about more about what you're doing, the high-risk industries. Why did you choose that?
Yeah, well, so obviously in the payment processing industry, there's low risk, like, the dentist or chiropractors, retail gas stations, restaurants. High risk is going to be more like online transactions and or just higher tickets, right? $2,500 all the way up to $10,000, some $25,000. So those are the higher risk spaces that I focus in. And I would say, the difference between me and a lot of companies out there is, they only have access to one or two banks, right? So when I'm boarding high-risk merchants, I'm not limited to just one or two banks. I have over 20 banks, both domestically and internationally. So for business owners that are high risk, it's very important that they have at least 3 to 5 different merchant accounts. Because it's one of those situations, and I can't tell you how many horror stories I've heard where these high-risk, companies, they get set up on PayPal. PayPal shuts them down. Their money gets held up. I mean, that's how we make our money in business, right? Is by taking payments. So it's very, very crucial to know what you're doing and how to board these accounts, because high risk is just way more sensitive. The underwriters and the risk team, they need to know what your company does. The lines of communication have to really be there, and that's where I excel. And why my clients come to me, because I just know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So I enjoy it. I find a lot of joy in doing what I do to help entrepreneurs.
I love it. Because can you imagine, that can really damage a business if they get them shut down.
And it has, yeah.
So you focus a lot on also the cannabis industry.
Yes.
Why is it about merchant processing with these high risks? Why is that so important these days? Because a lot of companies, they can use cash, right? Like they've always.
Yeah,
always done.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously we're in a digital age, even cryptocurrency and the US digital dollar is being talked about rolling out. So being able to accept debit and credit cards, particularly in the cannabis space, is very important. We have just now really been able to take cards for cannabis dispensaries. And obviously here in New York, this market is exploding. And really a lot of the different states are passing legislation. And these business owners, they need to have access to take cards, because cash and carrying a lot of cash can be it's very unsafe. And unfortunately, there's been cannabis dispensaries that have been robbed. So that's something I'm very passionate about as well, is helping these cannabis companies thrive, increase their bottom lines. Our data shows about a 26 to 30% increase in their bottom line by just taking cards.
Wow.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. So I'm very excited about that. I've been focusing, mostly in the cannabis space for the last 2 years. And I can't tell you how many of my clients are just like, thank you so much.
Yeah, wow, you're bringing a lot of value to their business. Filling a need. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you talk about integrity, right? The name integrity is in your company's name.
Yeah.
Is that one of the values that you hold?
Yeah.
Like, why did you call your company Integrity-Based Processing?
Yeah, that's obviously I'm a conscious entrepreneur, and I love creating businesses that really make a difference for other people. And so where I found the most joy, well, I don't know if it was joy that I found in that moment, but in this particular industry, payment processing, there's a lot of bait and switch tactics that happen. So not to give you the boring details, but there's 3 different pricing models. Tiered pricing being what I believe to be the most scrupulous and deceptive, because they give you these teaser rates. Oh, it's only 1.2%, but that's not including, mid-qualified and non-qualified cards. And when you start adding up the percentages, you're paying way more than what you were told. So when I found that out and I started educating myself in this space long ago when I first started, I'm like, wow, I could really make a difference with business owners. So I personally use what's called interchange plus pricing. Fortune 500 companies, they all use this pricing model because it's the most transparent, honest pricing model when setting up a merchant account. And it's critical. Every penny counts, especially in today's economy. Hyperinflation, gas prices are through the roof. It's very important for business owners to save money. And I love being able to save them money, but also educate them on the different pricing models. It never ceases to amaze me how these CFOs, they honestly don't really know how to read their merchant statement. So I find a lot of joy in educating, business owners how it works, how I'm going to save them money. I eliminate as many junk fees as possible, so they can really thrive and grow their businesses. So I'm very passionate about it, as you can tell.
I'm sure they appreciate that, because that can really add up. Livia, what would you say is the #1 industry that you're serving right now?
Cannabis, it's exploding, and it's unfortunate because obviously they're trying to federally legalize cannabis, and it didn't pass. But I think me and a lot of professionals in the cannabis space all agree that come the next election, hopefully we'll have, legalization, which will make it more accessible for banking and payment services. But in the meantime, that's obviously what gives me my opportunity to serve the cannabis industry. Is we have cannabis-friendly banking solutions, we have card payment solutions, and just really we custom tailor the solutions based on what the merchants' needs are. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.